Good evening, viewers. We were getting the messaging all along. Picture abhi baki hai, and the picture has unfolded. The message given at the all-party meeting today was that Operation Sindoor is not over, and within hours of that came the most astonishing counter-strike operation carried out in living memory by India. Viewers, Bharat has crippled Pakistan from the skies, leaving it a sitting duck. They tried cowardly under cover of the dark to attack us last night. And even as we broke this story early this morning, that during the night there were our guards looking at the night skies to save India. We know that at least 15 cities in India were targeted. These included Pathankot, Srinagar, Avantipura, Jammu, Amritsar, Adampur, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Phalodi, Uttaralai, Chandigarh, Bhuj and Nal. Starting from Kashmir and going right up to Gujarat, at these 15 places, our warriors at night were fighting off the Pakistani drone attacks, the floating ammunition that they had, which was directed at India. As it is, they had increased the artillery shelling across the LOC, which did impact places in the border areas, including Poonch, which suffered injuries. There were 13 lives that were lost. And after this provocation that came from Pakistan, India decided not to hold back, and we struck back. If we look at this map now, India launched these attacks through the Harpy drones, Rawalpindi, Attock, Chakwal, Gujranwala town, Lahore, where there were 7 blasts. Even the air defense systems at Lahore were targeted, and all of these were neutralized. Bhavalpur, another place, Miano, Chor and Karachi. This was India's response to the night attacks that came in from Pakistan. India has taken a call, no holding back, now that Pakistan has given the provocation. S-400 missile system was deployed. The Harpy drones were deployed. India's Sudarshan Shield was used. World's most advanced defense systems were put on display. The prowess of India clearly being meted out to Pakistan. And even as we speak, in the National Assembly in Pakistan, we've seen a complete meltdown that is happening. People do not trust their government. People are not trusting their army in Pakistan. Sirens going off. There is panic in all of these cities that we spoke about. And the defense prowess of India clearly taking over Pakistan, and the panic-ridden Pakistan almost running helter-skelter. But why then were they actually so adventurous? They want to make this as a crime, a victim card for themselves, to try and tell the world that India is on the offensive. But we can tell you here that Pakistan attacked India last night. It is the superiority of the Indian air defense systems that they could not get through, and the deployment, the alertness, and our completely meticulous planning foiled any attempt from Pakistan. Indian Air Force's S-400 Sudarshan Chakra air defense missile systems were deployed, and the S-400 missile systems fired against targets moving towards India. All targets successfully neutralized in Operation Sindoor 2.0. We've moved to the next phase of this war, and as we've been saying, this is a fight to the finish, or is Pakistan going to wake up and get a reality check? The Harp Seeker, this is the drone missile system. The range is 200 kilometers. The warhead is 16 kgs, and these have actually attacked the defense bases in Lahore, in Karachi, as well as in Rawalpindi. And this was used in Lahore, where the base, the Air Force base, the air defense system base, has been completely neutralized. I'm going to be joined by former Air Chief RKS Bhadauria, who's joining me in the studios just any minute. And RKS Bhadauria, sir, very, very good evening to you. Extremely happy to have you in our studios. If we can get the maps back, I want to ask you, Mr. Bhadauria, the maps, this is where Pakistan deployed their weapons last night. Our air defense system neutralized, and then we responded with these places under attack, destroying the air defense systems in Lahore. I want to ask you, how would one do this? And what were the weapons, S-400, the Harpy missile, and the drones that have been used? How does this work, and how did we plan the neutralization?
As you are aware, we attacked their terrorist targets. They went ahead and sent their drones and missiles, and these are the areas that you have indicated. There is a lot of information that has come. I cannot vouch for authenticity of all.
This is the yes, press release mentioning yes, all of this.
Yes, but which point, what has come, that information is not with me. But these are all the areas where they sent their drones and or their missiles in a combination. So they started to attack military targets. And now we are not even talking of what's happening on LOC, where they are already attacking military targets. So in response, Air Force has taken out some of their critical air defense centers and air defense systems. So that is the response. It is a proportionate response to what they have done. The difference being that what they have done, we have not, on our side there is no damage. There is no major issue in terms of destruction or reduction of our capability. But on their side, very clearly, we have achieved very important hits. Their radars, some of their SAM system, they have been hit badly, they have been disabled. They must understand that this is not normal. They must understand our intent. And if they think that they will start going after military targets and we will not, then they are sadly mistaken. This is what is important for them to understand.
So that's the message. Yeah. There was some information that was also coming in that the national security advisors of both countries have spoken to each other. That hasn't really happened. But may I ask you, the drone systems that we have, how do these air defense systems work? How did India prevent any damage to any of the installations? If you can give us a sense of what kind of systems protect India's defense installation.
So two things would have happened. When they sent their drones and missiles for the targets that you have indicated, we would have responded by attacking those drones, and we have achieved destruction there. In that, some of the surface-to-air missile systems have been used, and some other equipment towards disabling the drones. What we have done thereafter was to go after their air defense systems, which is a combination of radars and a combination of their surface-to-air missile systems. And for that, the kind of weapons used as what you have shown, Harps or Harpies, they are both EOIR based or anti-radiation based. So if they start to radiate, they get attacked. It is as simple. So because they started to get after our military targets, this is a proportionate response. And if they go again for any other military target, it will be responded to adequately. And they can be rest assured, we don't miss, we will get them.
Well, yes, we don't miss. They missed 15 of our targets. We don't miss any targets. But you continue to emphasize on the point of the proportionate response. Is this war or not for the layperson?
No, it is war. And proportionate is in the sense that if they send something and try to attempt to attack our targets, it will be some multiple of what they are doing. And that is our sense of proportionate, and that's how it will continue.
So do you think the weaponry, the missile systems, the drones that we are using to destroy their air defense bases would have given them the wake-up call? What is their preparation? Do you think Pakistan will retaliate now from this level also? What is your sense if you were to plan the strategy?
So the first wake-up call was when our primary core mission was to attack the terrorist target. It was made very clear in spite of opportunities, their military targets were not touched. Only terrorist targets were attacked. And it was very clearly stated by the government that it is de-escalatory in nature. We just gone after the terrorist infrastructure. They decided to respond and step up and started attacking military, so we have done this. If they continue on this line, there would be another level of escalation. They must understand that we are not going to take any of their actions lightly, and if they attack further, they can only attack military targets. If they step up the escalation, we will step up further. There is no doubt in that. So better sense has to prevail. They have to step back and they have to realize the realities of the current situation.
So let me ask you, the weapons and the quality of weapons, does Pakistan have lower quality weapons that despite the 15 cities, 15 areas that were targeted yesterday, not one of them was a successful attack by Pakistan? What are these systems that they're using? Are these, because there are so many memes going, I'm just trying to explain this to our viewers. Do we have a superior quality weaponry, artillery base than Pakistan?
I would say not out and out superior. In some areas, we are much superior. In some areas, it is comparable technologically. In overall combat capability, we are much superior and have much longer lasting power. Therefore, that is the comparison if you're comparing. What they have done, firstly, is a combination of probing and combination of half-hearted attempts at attacking.
Why would they do that?
It is
lack of planning?
No, it's not that. They would be worried that if they had actually gone full bow, our response would have been even stronger. I would put it that way. Otherwise, they have weapons and they have some capability which could have been gone beyond this. But the important aspect is that even if they do this, we would...
What are the capabilities that this particular system has?
So S-400 is a very capable system. It would firstly detect targets at very, very long range. It has capability of detecting low RCS targets too. So it is a combination. Firstly, very high ranges, and it has capability of detection of targets like missiles and attacking them. Although the ranges for that are comparatively lesser.
So when you say very large range, how many kilometers?
If it's a big aircraft, it will probably pick up at 350, 400. So I will not go into exact range. Okay. But it has very huge capability. If they fly in their airspace and have intent to come towards us, this system would know and would tackle. Okay. There is a combination of missiles which can target a whole range of systems, starting from missiles to their fighters, to their transports, to their entire combat support assets. Okay, so every aircraft that flies in their space and every significant weapon that flies through their space towards us can be targeted. So this has to sink in. And we are willing to use it.
And today, with the destruction of all of those radar systems that existed, would you say that Pakistan's capability of detecting our missiles, our aircrafts would be significantly reduced?
Yes, in the sectors where they have been destroyed, it would be. Till the time they bring it up or they bring in another radar, which would take time, and it at times is suboptimal. Okay, because there is integration involved, there's other issues involved. So it degrades, and if you hit a system like their HQ-9 or surface-to-air system, missile systems, obviously that is not available for some time. And this is just a trailer. Mind you, we could have done much more. But again, the sense was proportionate.
I want an elaboration of that. We could have done much more. What more could we have done?
It was proportionate to what they have done, with some multiple, of course. That is our sense of proportionate. And we have capability of doing this across the board, across their entire front. But some areas would have got chosen. This is from my assessment. It is not information that I have discussed. It must be, I must mention it. But it could have been done at a much wider scale. That's what we would do in a conventional war. Okay, so that must be understood. So we have a huge capability in this. And if it goes further, we will do this further.
So do you think, the kind of destruction that we are talking about of the radar systems, of the air defense systems, does that give us a first mover's advantage in case the situation escalates even further?
Because of the restraints that we are putting on ourselves, we are in most places not using the first mover advantage. Because something they did, we responded with this. Okay, we have made it clear. We attacked terrorists. Thereafter, we didn't do anything. They did something, we have responded. So far it is in this escalation ladder, we are following them. They do something, then we do. But it will always be responded and proportionately. If it goes beyond a point, then we would, our defense services there would be a time where they would switch this to start taking the first mover advantage or initiatives in sectors or opening up new fronts or whatever way. So there would be a time, but for time being, all indications are that we are responding. We are not taking initiative in attacking their military targets on our own first. It's always a response.
But our civilians have been targeted. In fact, Pakistan increased the intensity of its unprovoked firing across the LOC using heavy caliber artillery in Kupwara, Baramulla, Uri, Poonch, Mendhar and Rajouri sectors of Jammu and Kashmir, is the statement by the government. With this escalation, is this provocation enough for us? Because 16 of our civilians have been killed.
No, it is provocation, but again, there also we are exercising a lot of restraint for time being. But in terms of response by our military at the LOC, it is again proportionate. It is in a sense a multiple of what they are doing, and that would continue. It is in our nature that whenever we are hitting in response to such actions on LOC, we are targeting their military assets at the LOC and not really the civilians. But clearly, RT today is a very accurate weapon. Clearly, they have targeted the houses of our civilians. You've seen the photographs. And we are not doing that. There could be some collateral because of our targeting, but that's only collateral. They have targeted our civilians.
True. So this is the entire border region, the LOC, and this is where we've seen heightened activity. I want to ask you, Jammu and Kashmir, POK, a lot of information and a lot of intelligence suggests that Pakistan has vacated a lot of camps, a lot of centers where people were there in the POK area. It's a theoretical question, but would it be possible for India to move forward in that region? Because India has always said Pakistan occupied Kashmir as its own territory. Do we get into that game just yet, or do you think that comes in many stages later?
No, that I would leave it to many stages later. Currently, our focus, government has very clearly indicated that we have gone after terrorist infrastructure. It is because they have started to do this on military targets. We are responding, but we are very serious, very serious. And this would continue. So this has to sink into Pakistani Hukumat and military that they have to step back if they want this de-escalated. They have to step. We will not move.
So let me tell you, on the diplomatic side, China hasn't expressed open support, has said that de-escalation should happen at least on the face of things. But Turkey as well as Azerbaijan have come in. Saudi hasn't said anything much so far, but would be in the position of an interlocutor. Do you think the fact that Pakistan has some of these friends in the foreground and some in the background can change the calculations for India?
No, I don't think so. Firstly, they have very few friends, very few. The absolute majority.
The Muslim Brotherhood is a big.
No, it is still, but it is in some cases. I would put it in terms of friendship on the as a lip service or as for the show. But they know what Pahalgam was. All of them know what Pahalgam was. Even China has not supported them openly.
But the weapon systems would be available?
It would, because they have an association, they have some history. Half of it
in any case is owned by China.
So what do you do? So they would put weapons there. Obviously, strategically, China has interest so that they don't fold.
But that even the United States has interest.
Yeah, of course. And they should see whom they have been supporting. It is time for the,
Americans to wake up.
Americans and the world leaders as such to start asking them tough questions. So they are advising at times both sides that exercise restraint. We have been very restrained in our approach. It is Pakistan that and leadership that they have to advise to step back.
But the leadership, there is the
they have to tell
leadership.
Pakistan to step back, otherwise this won't stop. This is my assessment.
Who would they tell? Would they tell the military leadership? Would they tell the political leadership? Everybody is a puppet
for optics,
there?
They have to tell both, but they have to push the military to step back.
Let me also ask you about the Akash Tir Suraksha Kavach, as it is called. What is the capability of this?
This is an indigenous system, as you are aware, very capable as a surface-to-air missile system. It has got advanced in terms of technological features. We have modernized it. In our overall network of air defense system, this is a very critical element for all close-in defense. Okay. Beyond that is medium-range surface-to-air missile system, and of course S-400 gives the overall umbrella, and that covers practically the whole of Pakistan.
What would you say would be the next stage were it to get to that?
I would say with the kind of restraints we are still showing, it is for Pakistan to realize and step back. If they don't do, and I feel that in their current mindset and irrational behavior that they're displaying, they would continue to take some action or the other. This step, this action against some of our targets and our response would continue. We would still be careful to not let it escalate beyond a point. It is really for them to take some
I get that, but
action.
Today 15 places that they targeted, they haven't really succeeded. What would their next step be if you were to think from their side?
I would say their next step, they probably would attempt to target some effectively with some bombs or drop some bombs or maybe fire some missiles on some ground targets, on some military targets. I feel this is what they will come to, and it will be a big mistake from them. It would be a very big mistake from their side, because if any of our military targets get attacked by with this nature of attack, the response will, like I told you, proportionate, which would be a multiple of what they do.
So if they were to attack any of our military targets or civilian targets through missiles or bombs, do we have the capability of detecting and preventing and neutralizing them?
Yes, that would be our focus. If they were to attempt any such thing, we are all prepared. All three services are deployed. Focus would, of course, be on defending against this. You are aware what has happened last night and morning this side. Yes. Some of the missiles have been taken down. So there would be a full-fledged effort at protection. Still, depending upon the nature of attack, kind of attack, some modes, there could be targets that they hit. And if when that happens, the response would be substantial, and the level of escalation would really go up.
So I want to ask you, if you were to look at the map of India and say which are the areas that need to be on the lookout, on the alert, should not be found vulnerable along the border, which are the areas that you would say?
No, we are
alert all over.
Alert all over. In this, no chances are taken. Absolutely no chances. We are alert across the board. We are fully prepared across the board.
Because the fact that they went from Kashmir right up to Kutch and Bhuj clearly shows that they're not choosing just a specific area.
Absolutely.
So you expect that they would try some misadventures as time passes? Would they halt? Would there be enough pressure in the world to get them to halt? Because last night's misadventure clearly shows that no pressure on them seems to be working right now.
No, not working, or they continue to behave irrationally, which is, I think, the primary reason. There is pressure coming from the world leaders clearly on them. If they continue with this effort, of course there would be response. So they really have to understand this. If they don't understand now, maybe after the next wave. So we are open to
possibilities and possibilities. Well, for now, 5:30 is the briefing of the Ministry of External Affairs. What are the next steps? How are the world leaders reacting? All of that coming up. But for now, India has thwarted the attempts of Pakistan and then responded this morning with a proportionate response. Will Pakistan back off? Will they come back again? Will this escalate further? Well, we are watching, waiting, looking at every single clue that we can get. But for now, Operation Sindoor Phase 2 started this morning. When will it end? In Pakistan's hand. And after that, it will be India's decision on how much of Pakistan to decimate. We leave it at that. Thank you very much, Mr. RKS Bhadauria, for joining me on this segment. Taking a short break. More news on the other side.